got to know the head coach, Will Hardy of the Jazz, real well back in their San Antonio days, and he was one of the first hires that Will Hardy made a couple of years ago when he got hired. The Dallas Mavericks are led by Jared Dudley, who is hiding behind the referees. He does not want to see the camera, which is the biggest lie I've ever said.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Jared Dudley has never dodged the camera in his entire life. And there he is. Dudley, the longtime NBA vet, second year in a row, he is leading the Summer League team. And they had a pretty good summer out here. And we are underway with the nightcap on day 2. And quickly out of bounds, it will be Utah Jazz basketball as they wear those fresh black and yellow jerseys. Dallas in the white jerseys with a blue trim. Isaiah Collier getting to run the point with Keontae George getting the rest of the summer off, but he will be part of some of these vet workouts that take part out here in Vegas. Collier takes the first shot of the game, and it's pure.
And the Trojans saw that a lot this year. Loves that left dribble pull-up. Can be and has the potential to be an explosive scorer. He said he was surprised that he fell as late as he did.
Right.
I mean, you know, you think about it, top recruit fell to the 29th pick, but he's ready to take advantage of this opportunity.
One of 2 first-round picks by the Utah Jazz this year. Remember, Danny Ainge and Justin Zanuck have been collecting draft picks over the last couple of years, trading out the likes of Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, and then now there's rumors swirling that they might make another deal. Or, instead of trading away a guy like Lauri Markkanen for even more assets, do they keep him and sign him long-term? That's a big topic of discussion right now in Utah land. That's Brandon Williams for the Dallas Mavericks, who are coming off of an unexpected run to the NBA Finals. 7'5", Jamarian Sharp got the block, but he could not stop Kyle Filipowski on the second attempt. How about this matchup we got down low here between Filipowski at 6'11", and Sharp at 7'5". There's basket interference.
You know, you were talking about Danny Ainge, which has an eye for talent, along with Sam Presti in the previous game, of developing young talent. And that was the plan last year, was the rebuild. But then the Jazz got out to a tremendous start. So then where do you go from there? When you have Markkanen and guys like Jordan Clarkson, they're not going to just lose games. And I think that some of the plans were a little altered by their start from last year. Yeah, they were 20-20 at one point last year. Many thinking, could they be a surprise team in the West? But down the stretch, it was really a struggle. The Jazz ended up losing 31 of their last 40 games of the regular season. Here's Filipowski out of Duke. The drive with the lefty. Wanted the whistle, didn't get it. Utah ended up 31-51. And on that drive, Filipowski doing an amazing job of taking advantage and getting to the cup. Sharp's got to do a better job of using his length. He is so long, he doesn't have to be up in body and chest to chest on the defensive end.
Filipowski, another guy that many thought could go in the first round, slipped to pick number 32. Williams over to Ajinça. Melvin Ajinça with that lefty stroke is no good. It would be easier for me to tell you who is not here from the Jazz projected opening night roster than who is here, because the only guys that are projected to be on the opening night roster as of today for the Jazz that are not here are John Collins, Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, and Jordan Clarkson. Other than that, there's the potential for 7 of these guys tonight, and even more potentially with two-way spots open, to be on the opening night roster. There is Sharp, blows the dunk. At 7'5", couldn't throw it down. And here comes Williams, Cody Williams. His jumper is no good.
And Cody Williams struggled in the Salt Lake Summer League. The first 3 games of the season had 5 points per game, and to be honest with you, I think Utah Jazz are okay with a slower development for him.
Yeah, Williams just 1 of 11 in Salt Lake City from 3 here. Turns down the 3, takes it to the cup. Williams scores his first points out here in Vegas. He's the 10th pick of the draft. If his name sounds familiar, if he looks familiar, younger brother of Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Brandon Williams now for Dallas misses on the 3. And here comes Bryce Sensabaugh, 6'6" out of Ohio State. He'll pull it out now. Jazz with an 11-4 lead. Sensabaugh, the pull-up, no good, and it's taken down by Lawson. A.J. Lawson, this is his 4th different run in Vegas Summer League. Strong move by Lawson. Sharp at 7'5", gets the putback that time. 5-point game, 6:20 to go, first half. Candace Parker, Jared Greenberg. We'll hear from Taylor Rooks in just a couple of moments. Filipowski. Look at this old school basketball, the turnaround in the post.
And Filipowski looking smooth early on.
Sharp gets that, dishes it out, but the travel by Omax Prosper. We're seeing a big man takeover. Filipowski on one end and Sharp on the other end. At 7'5", Sharp taking that wingspan and doing a little bit of everything for the Mavs.
Welcome back into this Mavericks Jazz Summer League matchup here in Vegas. I'm Taylor Rooks, and Mavs Summer League head coach Jared Dudley said one of his main jobs here is to try and make Olivier Maxence Prosper a part of the rotation. Now, Omax told me that his #1 goal is to do that by showing all the ways he can help Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. He said Kyrie talks to him about slowing down the game, making the right reads, reading things before they happen, and that both of those Maverick stars have expressed how much they believe in him and expect him to make a big jump in year 2, and that begins right here, Jared.
There was a big jump by Melvin Ajinça for the Dallas Mavericks. We're going to keep a close eye on Ajinça tonight and throughout the next 10 nights here in Vegas, because Ajinça has the opportunity to earn himself an NBA roster spot. Here's Ajinça. Nearly loses it, gets it over. There's Brandon Williams.
Why not
with the
put
follow.
it in the other hand? He rebounded that with his right hand. Put it in the left and slammed it.
Back-to-back dunks here by the Mavs.
Yes, missing the bunny. Why not? Why not have second chance points from your guards?
Delay of game called on the Mavericks. Nearly a kickball. Hendricks fouled in the corner. And Taylor Hendricks will shoot 3.
And as the game has gone on, as a zone used to be an overseas thing. Everybody overseas had a zone. It was international style. Now you're seeing the zone come to life and be seen a lot more. You think of teams like the Miami Heat. You think of teams like San Antonio and the Spurs.
Well, I think we just had Jim Boeheim sit next to us for the last game.
Boeheim in college that ran a zone, a 2-3 matchup. So it's unbelievable to see. You got to have a zone in your back pocket. I'm adamant about that. It takes possessions. It slows it down. It takes the ball out of playmakers' hands.
Taylor Hendricks knocks down the free throw for the Jazz. Summer League action continues tomorrow in Las Vegas on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. Tomorrow night on ESPN2, you'll see the Wizards and Rockets at 6 Eastern. That's followed by the Hawks and Spurs. Zach Ricochet, the top pick of the Hawks, made his pro debut with Atlanta. I should say his NBA pro debut. And then the Bulls and Warriors will wrap up tonight. Williams misses the layup for Dallas. Here's the other Williams. Tries to find Filipowski, but they turn it over. Second turnover of the first quarter for Utah. Ajinça steps right into a 3. That's no good. So here's the story with Melvin Ajinça. 6'8", 218, just 20 years old, out of France. He was picked 51st overall by the Knicks. Then that pick traded to Dallas. They traded up Dallas did from 58 to 51. They were so excited to get their hands on him. Cody Williams knocks down the mid-range jumper. Could he be a draft and stash? Yes, but I've been told by the Mavs organization that if they see enough out of him, they potentially could give their last roster spot to Ajinça this summer going into next year. Otherwise, Ajinça does have plans to play pro ball in France next season. So there's a lot on the line here for guys like Melvin Ajinça as he fires on another triple try. Filipowski inside to Baisley. Baisley trying to earn a roster spot. Ajinça We got a whistle. Here's what Melvin Ajinça did last year in the French League, averaging nearly 9.5 points per game.
And it's so interesting, the international experience. You see guys possibly at a younger age a little bit more pro-ready. You're playing against grown professionals from a very young age. Luka played professionally since he was 14, 15 years old, and the experience that you get over there, it's a different style, it's a different skill set.
Brandon Williams with 9 on the shot clock. Mavs down 7. Mavs down 4. Here's Jason Preston. Clipper fans may remember him. He was with the program for a while. Now he's with the Utah Jazz on a 2-way deal. Preston has it. Kicks it in the corner. Hendricks. Hendricks, no good. Man, the shooting woes have carried over from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas for the Utah Jazz, who are now just one of 3 from downtown. Brandon Williams.
And Williams,
he's been all over the place.
Advantage of the low pickup point by the Jazz in transition.
Baisley, how many lefty shooters do we have out here tonight?
Had quite a bit of lucky lefties out here. Utah taking advantage, up 17-15. Williams doing all he can, especially in secondary.
Not to wear my shirt here. Lauri Markkanen's got a big summer. There have been rumors swirling about his future. Could he be a part of the future of the Utah Jazz, or could Danny Ainge and Justin Janik ship him off for a haul of assets? There's Omax Prosper for the Dallas Mavericks. So here's the situation. Utah cannot officially extend an offer of a contract extension to Lauri Markkanen until August 6th. So that is the magic date here. We're less than a month away from probably figuring out what his future is. If he accepts the offer, if there is an offer, he signs it, he's going to be a part of the team long term. If not, there will be suitors. There have been many rumors about several teams. One of those teams was the Sacramento Kings, but they appear to have bowed out because they have acquired DeMar DeRozan. So who is interested in the likes of a Lauri Markkanen? Should it be Utah?
Well, Utah is building for the future, and it's tough because you have a 24-year-old young, athletic, shooting, dynamic playmaker in Lauri Markkanen. And that's what everybody hopes to have on their roster. Again, I think Utah has a lot of decisions to make about whether they truly are building for just the future or whether they want to build around Lauri Markkanen with their young talent.
I think there are a lot of teams that would love the services of Markkanen, who has turned into one of the best shooters, stretch fours in this league.
Well, definitely. And excuse me, 27 years old. But Lauri Markkanen has shown a great deal of the ability to win ball games, and something that I don't think Utah expected last year. You know, starting off 20-20. And so, you know, when you have him on your roster, Jordan Clarkson on your roster, Keontae George has come on as of late, you're going to win some games. So the franchise has to decide what they're trying to really build for.
Alex Fudge caught in the spin cycle. Fudge, no good. But it comes off of Kenny Lofton Jr. and out of bounds. It'll be Dallas basketball. Kenny Lofton Jr. vying for a roster spot as well. Remember, he was with Memphis earlier in his career.
He was one of my favorite players to watch when he played for Memphis later on in the year, just because of the way he plays.
Right. He's played 45 games in the NBA with Memphis, Philadelphia, and the Jazz.
He's an unorthodox game. He gets it done. Isn't flashy, but he was getting buckets for a while with the Grizzlies.
He has signed a 3-year non-guaranteed deal with Utah. So obviously his performance over the next week and a half will go a long way on whether they decide to bring him along this fall. Omax Prosper is a guy we'll see this upcoming season. Canadian, spent 2 years at Marquette after a year at Clemson. Originally a 24th pick back in 2023. Got into 40 games this year. Split time with the Mavs and the Texas G League squad. Averaged 18 points per game in the G League this year. Jared Dudley talking about Omax needing to become a more consistent decision maker. 18 seconds to go here in the first quarter of a 1-point game. Jason Preston running point, giving it to Lofton. Lofton going up big. And that is an offensive foul on Lofton. So the last couple of possessions, Lofton gets it knocked out of bounds when he could have had an easy rebound, and then he gets the offensive foul.
And Dallas, again, electing to go zone, which I think is smart at the end of the quarters, because normally teams ISO with the best player with the ball in a pick and roll. They avoid that by going zone, cause other players to touch the ball. Lofton turning it over.
Shot clock off here, 6 seconds to go. Brandon Williams, who's got 9 points so far in the first quarter. Williams, the step back, he knew he was taking it. And we go to the second quarter with Utah holding on to a slim 1-point lead. Jazz have been led by the 6 points of Kyle Filipowski out of Duke. Could he be one of the surprise picks out of the draft? Ajinça and company making them dance.
Welcome back into Vegas Summer League. Taylor Brooks here with Isaiah Collier. You got the first bucket of the night. You're really getting your way off the dribble. What's allowing you to be effective early?
I'm just trying to stay aggressive. I come in here at a young age, so I'm looking forward to, just competing from the start and just being myself.
In the huddle, your coach was saying, don't worry about the zone. Keep the ball moving. How do you combat what they're doing defensively?
I mean, like you said, the ball got to move. We got to keep the ball moving, get them to move on the defensive end, and then we should get open shots.
All right, thank you for your time. Back to you, Jared.
All right, Taylor, here's Gortman. I know you were interested in looking at today. Jazz Gortman out of overtime elite, getting some run to run the offense here.
Yeah, Gorman's showing how shifty he can be with overtime elite. You talk about somebody that's got handles, can get to his spot. I'm excited to see his development.
Gortman played in the G League last year. Time in the Bucks and Blazers G League teams, averaging just under 9.5 points per game. 6 on the shot clock for Prosper. They give it to Gortman. 2 on the clock. Gortman.
And he's not known for his three-point shot, but boy, he can get to his spots. If he develops that, then he really could become a rotational player for the Mavs.
Mavs had their first lead of the game at 21-19. Lofton nearly loses it. Here's 7 on the clock. Lofton steps into a 3, shooting over a 7'5" Sharp. The rebound taken down by Tavion Kinsey. Kinsey, a guy Jazz fans are going to get familiar with. He's got a 2-way contract. Gortman finds Sharp. Hard to miss him. Take a look at what Gortman did possession earlier with the deep triple try.
I mean, right here, Gortman with the nice catch and shoot, smooth stroke. And then right here, look how fast Sharp gets out of this pick and roll. Gortman rewards him right down the teeth of the Jazz defense. You try rotating over on 7'5".
Back in 2023, Jamarion Sharp led the nation in blocked shots per game. At Ole Miss, he averaged more than 4 rejections per game. 4. But he went undrafted, and we should mention that in April he was charged with aggravated assault, accused of firing a gun towards an alleged victim while a car was in the process of being repossessed. Free ball by Cody Williams.
And that's a good sign. Struggled in Salt Lake.
Yep.
Has come out, now is 3 of 4 from the field. Cody Williams doing a great job of settling into this game, not forcing the issue too much, not pressing, which you see sometimes with young players trying to prove why they're a top pick in the draft.
Well, Taylor, there could be another Williams that takes the NBA by storm.
That's right, and just as Candace was saying there, Cody Williams told me that he's a good shooter right now, but he wants to become an elite shooter. He wants to use Summer League to show what he can do. He mentioned the actions that the Jazz run, 5 out, even 4 out, shooting the shots off those actions they have and showing no hesitation. He said if they close out, low hands, let it fly, and we're seeing him try to do that here tonight.
There is Cody, who's hit his first shot from 3 tonight after shooting 1 of 10. Pardon me, 5 of 11. 1 of 10 from 3 during the Salt Lake Summer League. Now Williams putting it on the deck. Sensabaugh, the 2 on the clock, beats the shot clock.
And that's what you want to see from your top draft pick. Don't take a bad shot. Breaks down, gets into the lane, and finds the open shooter.
Gortman to Miller.
Really nice cut by Miller.
Lofton. Lofton seems like he's got a mission tonight.
And he's struggling against that 7'5" frame of Sharp.
The Emirates NBA Cup tips off November 12th. The much anticipated tournament returns with all 30 teams competing in group play and 8 advancing to the knockout rounds. But only one champion will capture the NBA Cup. Visit NBA.com/NBA Cup for more. You've had 24 hours to marinate. Do we have a decision on who you believe will win the NBA Cup come this winter?
My hot take is that I don't know. It's July.
That actually would be a hot take these days because everybody's got to give an opinion, so it would be a hot take. Oh, what a block!
Chase down block.
A.J. Lawson getting up and denying.
And getting rewarded on the other end. You love to see it. Gets the block on one end, runs the floor, team rewards him. That was a nice block. He got up on that.
Here's Bryce Sensabaugh. Sensabaugh driving, gets stripped by Brandon Williams. Williams up ahead to Ajinka. Ajinka driving, kicking, the shot. Isaiah Whaley just checked in. Filipowski looking to continue his strong first half, but he couldn't put that one away. Ajinka, the 3 no. We got a frantic pace here midway through the second quarter. And a timeout. A good one here in Las Vegas, with Dallas leading 32-29.
Dallas in the lead, and a lot of it is because of this extra effort. Look at Lawson. And then listen, there's no rest for the weary. You get the block on one end, and you rush back the other end. It's okay. We know what happened. He gets the layup. Dallas Mavs.
Here between Dallas and Utah, the Mavericks lead on day 2 of Summer League 32-29. Candace Parker, Jared Greenberg, now joined by Nico Harrison. I just want to make sure, are we going to be okay here, Nike, Adidas? Are we going to be civilized?
It's all love.
Yeah, we're
sure?
we go
It's
way
all
back.
love. We passed that a long time ago.
Yeah, all love.
Therapy, like how did we get through all of this?
We spent a lot of time together in the Olympics.
Yep.
Okay.
Olympics.
All right, just making sure.
In 08, 2012.
I don't want to have to get between you two. Nico, congratulations. What a whirlwind for you and your team, making it all the way to the NBA Finals. We've got a lot to talk about with you, so I'm glad you've sat down here because we're going to be with you till at least midnight Pacific. But first, have you had the opportunity to reflect on what a wild run it was for this team?
Nah, not really, because the end of the season, and then it's the draft and free agency, and, we want to get back to where we were, so we had to make a few changes, and we're excited about those.
All right, let's talk about it. We have not gotten into it yet because we've had a really good basketball game. Let's begin with one of Candace Parker's favorite players, Klay Thompson. How easy of a decision was that for you to bring him aboard?
I mean, it was a no-brainer for us, you know, especially after the finals. We knew that we were a Klay Thompson away, we felt, and so we feel like we got our guy.
And just looking at your lineup of being able to get lively, and there's no pun intended in that, and lively in the draft, and how he was able to play. I mean, the guy had a motor the entire season, entire regular season. In the playoffs, he went the deepest as a rookie in the playoffs. So what can you say about his development and what you look for him in the future?
Yeah, you know, Lively, he got better. Like, if you look at 10-game blocks throughout the season, he got better every 10-game block. And, you know, now he's got some playoff experience underneath him. He's a leader. He anchors the defense. He's nonstop talking. Having Gafford there, too, being able to play off each other, I think it's been amazing for him.
Here's Derek Lively's numbers. There's really a two-headed monster at that center position, and Lively, as Candace mentioned, no rookie played more postseason minutes than him this year, making a serious impact. So, you said you were a Klay Thompson away from winning a championship. I'm curious, when you look at moving forward and getting better, you know that the target's going to be on your back. So what's the message? Oh, what a block right there. There's a message by Taylor Hendricks.
Really, it's, you know, you can't take getting there for granted, but at the same time, we did feel like we did get better in the offseason. Obviously, we have to come together and be healthy and all those other things that have to happen. But we like the team that we have, and we feel like that we're going to be better next year than we were this year.
Hey, Nico, how happy are you, well, not happy, but relieved are you that Luka's able to rush a little bit now that Slovenia is out of the Olympic competition?
Well, you know what? It's kind of like a double-edged sword. I know how much he loves playing for his country, and I know how much it means to him. But yes, definitely, after having such a long season, for him to be able to rest his body is going to be more beneficial to us.
I got the opportunity, Nico, to cover you guys most of the playoffs for TNT. 3-ball knocked in there by Tavion Kinsey for Utah. It's tie game at 36. And every game, it felt like there was a new injury we were reporting on Luka. It's one thing to talk about how resilient he was and how he plowed through that. But what does Luka have to do this summer, now that he's not playing in the Olympics, to be better for your team heading into next season?
Well, I think the big thing is get healthy, you know, because he's been playing so much basketball with us, with his national team. Just really heal up and get healthy, and I think that's going to help him out a lot. And then when he starts the season off being fresh, you know, in shape and fresh, and I think he learned a lot from what we went through, so I expect him to be his best version next year.
And you all really took off towards the later part of the season, and I mean, you always can score the basketball. That's a given when you have a backcourt that's Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. But it looked like you all took a step forward in the regular season defensively, and your connectivity and your ability to dictate the pace. And what can you say about that end of the floor and the development kind of carrying over and the additions that you made on the defensive end?
Yeah, I think, you said it. Really, we can score with the best of them, but really it was our commitment to defense. And I think Sean Sweeney.
We're going to take a break. Can you stick around through the break for us?
Sure.
All right, well, you're captive. We're not letting you go anywhere.
All right, I'm staying.
Doesn't matter who he was, one of the great two-way players of his generation with the Warriors. But Candace was just asking Nico Harrison, who's joining us, the general manager of the Mavs, about how your defense really turned, particularly after you made some trades mid-season.
Yeah, you know, Jason Kidd and Sean Sweeney, he's kind of our defensive coordinator. He really stepped it up and really just put a big emphasis on everything we did in terms of our rotations and commitment to defense. We switched the lineups a little bit, and that's when we really took off. It really was the defensive end.
Can we get Sean Sweeney? I know you don't want to lose him. Can we get him a head coaching job, please?
I'm telling you, he needs one for real. And we don't want to lose him, but, right. You know, it's about people, and you want people to grow, and he's ready. He's really ready.
Brandon Williams misses on that jumper here. Tied at 38-38, 1:13 to go in the second quarter.
And Nico, again, we just saw Klay Thompson, okay? And I understand everybody says shooting, right? Corner threes are going to be there because of the way that Luka and Kyrie play. They demand a double. They're going to draw two. You need guys that are going to knock it down. But that championship experience that he's had that he's been a part of, that he's been instrumental in developing in Golden State. What do you hope mentality-wise that he's able to bring to your organization?
Well, I think the shooting, I mean, that's without question, but really the force that he brings, you know, when he comes off of pin downs, he comes off of screens, he's bringing a lot of bodies with him. And of course, he will get open shots because of Luka and Kai, but he'll also allow them to get open shots because you're not leaving him. So I think they'll be able to play off each other. And then again, the championship mentality, you know, knowing what it takes day in and day out to play at that level, I think is instrumental.
And it feels like you've got a motivated Klay Thompson who's got a chip on his shoulder because Golden State didn't give him the offer he thought he deserved. Yeah,
I don't know about that, but I'm excited to have him.
Oh, you know about it. You just don't want to talk about it.
Hey, listen, and I love the fact that
was impressive.
When I didn't think that I could love Klay Thompson anymore, he goes and takes number 31 to pay homage towards Reggie Miller, which is our teammate that we get to go to work with. So I love the fact that he's about basketball and his dog. I think that's why he's one of my favorite players.
And I think that's one of the advantages of having a veteran like him who's won. He just wants to win. He's not playing for anything else but winning.
For fans who are watching at home, Omax Prospers on the free throw line. What can he potentially add to your regular season roster next season?
3-and-D, big-time energy guy, finishes at the rim, physical defensively. He can guard multiple positions. For him, once the game slows down for him, he's gonna be a player.
Be fun to watch him here. Prosper's got 7 points. 10 on the shot clock as we watch the Mavericks defense play that zone.
And you know, impressive. I love the zone. Even though that was a catch and shoot in the middle of the zone, but the Mavs have done a great job of mixing it up and going zone at different possessions of the game, and I think it's taken Utah out of their rhythm.
Yeah, and for me, that's the biggest thing about zone is I like man-to-man, I like hard-nosed man-to-man, but I do agree, like, you throw the zone in, take people out of their rhythm, and then try to create some turnovers.
All right, final opportunity. You want to do some play-by-play here?
No, I want to keep my day job.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it.
Yeah, you're really good at it.
2-second shot clock, game clock differential here. Nico Harrison joining us for the final 9 seconds of the half. Kenny Lofton thinking about a three, drives, loses the handle, a turnover. All right, Nico. They call a foul on your team. Oh, I thought that was out of bounds, and so did Brandon Williams.
Jared keeps trying to set you up to get you fined.
I'm a veteran. I'm not going for it.
Yeah, he wants to keep his money, okay? I'm not trying to get our guy fined, okay?
It's all love here.
Can you get fined in Summer League?
Well, I don't want to find out.
He doesn't want to set the precedent.
You feel good about your roster, though? Where you feel like you got in a good spot heading?
I really do. I feel good about it. I really do. I mean, again, everything still has to come together, but I really like the pieces that we put. I like the core that we brought back, which is essential, and I'm excited.
And along with Klay Thompson, I love watching Kyrie play. Do you ever just sit there? You're watching two of the greatest one-on-one players. You ever just sit there and just
all the time?
Just with Doncic and
Kyrie? The practices, honestly, some of the practices are crazy.
Can
crazy.
Only imagine.
Appreciate you dodging those questions. Thanks for putting up with it. Nico Harrison, the great general manager, put together a master class this summer, adding Klay Thompson, Najee.
Playing hard, bringing energy. I mean, that's all you can ask in this summer league action.
How about Melvin Ajinka bringing the ball up here? 6'8" ball handler out of France. Now over to Brandon Williams, who led the team in the first half with 11. He misses on the layup. Most of these Utah Jazz participated in the Jazz Salt Lake City Summer League last week. They had shooting woes there. That continues tonight. Utah in the first half, just 3 of 11 from distance. Nice pass by Filipowski, who gets denied by Sharp. The 7'5" Sharp led the nation in blocks 1 year and gets another one here. Are they going to count the basket?
Basket interference. You can't jump up and grab the rim like that. That has to be count the basket. I know it didn't have any shot of going in, but you cannot jump up and grab the rim like this.
If it didn't, it has to have a chance to go in.
Does it?
Yeah, so they're not going. Jared Dudley's asking about that as well.
But how do you judge a chance to go in? The ball was on the backboard. The ball hit the backboard.
At the side of the backboard.
No, it hit the front. It hit the American flag on the backboard. Listen, I'm mad. If that's my shot, I want my extra
2.
my 2, and I want my and 1.
Jared Dudley just got the answer from the official. And
I'd review it.
that's what we need. That's exactly what we need.
That's what we love.
Now, the NBA rule is the ball has to have a chance, and the officials noted there that there was no chance of that going in. Here's Kyle Filipowski now at 6'11", bringing the ball up. Remember, he slipped in that first round of the draft. He was in the green room. Filipowski turning.
And that's his second Dirk attempt against Dallas. It's insult. You don't do the Dirk against Dallas.
Prosper denied by Filipowski. Here comes Taylor Hendricks. Hendricks, a guy who will be on the opening night roster, and he carried the basketball.
You look right here. Filipowski doing a great job of getting back into the play. We saw that a lot when he was in action at Duke, controlling the paint, blocking shots. Seems early that defensive mentality is translating here at Summer League.
Filipowski led Duke last year, 16.5 points per game. There's an inadvertent horn. So we'll do the inbounds over again. Filipowski, first team all ACC. Tonight, Filipowski, 6 points. He's not attempted a 3 yet. He was 0 for 9 from 3 in the Salt Lake City Summer League. With all the bigs on the roster here, we'll see where Filipowski fits in next season.
Well, a big in Walker Kessler that definitely has grown and did some amazing things in his rookie campaign. Ooh. Second-year player, took a step forward. It's great to see the growth in young bigs.
Ajinka comes right back down the other end. Timeout, Utah. They've gotten to the hall. They're playing basketball at Thomas and Mack. Simultaneous basketball all throughout this 11-day event. 20 years ago today, it all began out here in Las Vegas, and tonight we've got the Utah Jazz and the Dallas Mavericks. Utah in the black and yellow jerseys holding a 3-point lead. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Utah. They're going to say it touched Tavion Kinsey, and it'll be Dallas basketball.
You got to be a little frustrated as coach coming out of a timeout, draw up something and can't get into your action. Dallas did a great job of denying and limiting penetration on that possession.
Ajinka now 1 of 5 from downtown. He's got 7 points. Dallas has its largest lead of the night at 6. They're sharp again, another block. Williams, he's denied by Hendricks. It's like Williams hit the deck pretty hard there. He's got no fear going to the cup.
And Williams, 0 fear. Right here, he'll go in there amongst the trees, seeking contact.
Foul charge, Taylor Hendricks.
Hendricks might have went straight up. But nevertheless, sometimes it's better to fool the refs, get to the line.
This is Brandon Williams' 3rd year participating in the Vegas Summer League. Prior appearances with Portland and Minnesota. Summer League action continues tomorrow in Las Vegas on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. Tomorrow on ESPN2. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern with the Wizards and Alex Sarr taking on the Houston Rockets, followed by the Spurs and the Hawks, and the Chicago Bulls at 10 o'clock Eastern taking on the Golden State Warriors. 49-41, Dallas up by 8, under 7.5 to go. Candace Parker, Taylor Rooks. I'm Jared Greenberg. Got the legend sitting to our left, Dave Freed, keeping stats, facts, informations. He is the Bureau of Information. Filipowski, he is now up to 10.
And that's what you love, a cut by your big, hands ready, gets rewarded for it.
Williams challenging Filipowski. 2 Mavs ran into each other. Ajinka comes up with it. 9 on the shot clock. Prosper driving into traffic. Prosper got fouled by Hendricks. That'll be the second foul on Hendricks.
And one of the biggest things for Prosper to continue to grow in his career is he has to play under control and continue to make the right basketball play. There's no doubt in his ability to knock down, you know, and play make and be aggressive and things like that. But I think the biggest thing for a player is to learn to come in and make the correct basketball play.
You'll notice on Prosper's left wrist a bracelet. It reads, "Forget the odds, I betted myself." And it has the Haitian flag with the English translation of dominate.
Just a quick little reminder. You see a lot of players that play with certain things to remind themselves to stay confident, stay present. Remember, it is a process. Remember the purpose that you're playing for.
51-43, Dallas leading Utah. Isaiah Collier, starting point guard tonight. As Keontae George Summer League action is done, he participated in the Salt Lake City Summer League, did George. Got into 2 games, scored 61 points, Keontae George, in 2 games. That was a travel. Whaley got away with it, I think, twice. The drive by Ajinka, and Ajinka's been all over the place. He's now up to 9 points. 7 of the 9 coming here after halftime for Ajinka. This Utah team got some veteran, relatively speaking, play from Keontae Jordan, Walker Kessler, and Salt Lake City.
Not a bad play. I know he's going to get the hockey assist on this, but Filipowski showing some behind-the-back wrap action. Getting into the paint, not taking a bad shot, kicking it out, getting the hockey assist.
Yeah, these
Okay, big fella.
first-year guys just coming out of the draft. The block there
With 2 hands.
by Darius Baisley.
Double block.
And then the Jazz turn it right back over, but it's last touched by Dallas, so it'll be Utah basketball. So these first-year guys getting the run here in Vegas as Keontae George and Walker Kessler will participate in practice with some of the veterans in the coming days. Here's that Baisley block in the last possession.
Yeah, watch this. When you're able to be this athletic, block it once, block it twice, grab it with 2 hands.
Preston, nice bounce pass to Filipowski. Justice served. Are you with me, Candace?
Oh, you're hilarious.
Wellness check here in Vegas. We okay?
Justice served. Pretty good. Pretty good, Jared.
Corner, Miller, 3. Is it the taste?
Miller time.
Nice handle there. Threes are flying now. A.J. Lawson.
And Lawson having success early in the first half of getting in the paint, and now knocking down the 3.
Baisley over to Kinsey. We've got ourselves a shootout here in Vegas.
Knockdown 3s.
8-point game, 4.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Bryce Sensabaugh started this game for the Utah Jazz. He was the 18th pick in the 2023 draft. You see him in the corner there, the top part of your screen. He was being worked on earlier by the training staff. He's got a finger injury, and we will not see Bryce Sensabaugh again. He's out. So Sensabaugh, the 18th pick back in 2023 out of Ohio State. Now Filipowski coming out, but he's just getting a breather. As you mentioned last night, got to stay hydrated out here in Vegas. Dallas with the drive. Right place, right time. Who else? That is Isaiah Wiley, pardon me. Lofton taking it to Wiley. The hesitation. Nice move by Lofton, who took a shot to the jaw after the bucket.
When you see Lofton at his size, he has to be crafty, doing a great job of messing up the timing of the shot blocker.
Lawson, no good that time. Loose ball foul underneath. And it'll be Utah basketball, trailing 61-53. Jason Preston, so impressed by his work ethic. Watched him oftentimes with the Clippers. He's always on that get-ready squad. And you saw it for so long, Candace, as a star player in the WNBA. The players on the end of the bench, they got to put that work in when they're not getting game reps. And a guy like Jason Preston, who's playing defense right now, is a constant workhorse.
Yeah, when you're young and trying to crack the rotation, you can't let the results dictate your work ethic, because you never know when your moment will come, and you got to be ready for it. And all of these guys are in search of trying to be dominant in this league and stick around in this league, and you got to be ready.
Lofton, the lefty push. Got it, Lofton Jr.
You know what I love? I love those pocket passes. Being able to get a nice little floater as a big out of a pocket pass.
Who's the best at it in the NBA?
I mean, no doubt you got Jokic and Embiid out of the pocket, but Draymond, not as a scorer, but as a facilitator, has been one of the best there has ever been.
Emmanuel Miller got fouled. He'll shoot free throws after this timeout, with Utah leading 63-55.
He's able to score from the low block, can be active, has a little bit of a motor, can defend. You said it's crammed and there's a log jam with the Utah Jazz at the post position.
Right.
But I think he keeps playing like this with this energy. I think he could find himself some minutes and some steady minutes in the rotation.
You know, with how good of a defender Walker Kessler is he kind of the offensive specialist potentially at that position for them?
I definitely think that he would be more of an offensive specialist. He can shoot the three from beyond the arc. I know Walker Kessler, that's something that he's wanted to add to his game, is knocking down the three-point shot. But Filipowski already has proven that he can do that.
Sharp soars for the rebound. Again, if you're just joining us, Sharp, 7'5". Alex Fudge thinks about it, pulls back, now pulls it. And Hendricks, one of those guys competing for that front line positioning in the Utah regular roster. Will Hardy sitting courtside here watching these young guys. So many of them will be on his opening night roster. There's as many as 7 guys that are playing tonight for the Jazz who could be on that opening night roster. And we'll see what happens with Lowry Markkanen. Not until the first week of August, when Danny Ainge and company can offer him a contract extension. Prosper off on the three. Utah boxes out Sharp, and here comes the Jazz. Justice.
Serve. Nice pass by Baisley, though. Stole your line.
You can have that one for free.
Thanks.
Gortman here, guarded by Preston. Prosper, going one-on-one on Hendricks, the spin. And just flips it behind his head, and he got fouled.
See right here, nice handles in the open court by Baisley. Finding Justice beyond the arc. The hardest thing to guard in transition, penetration. Three-point shooters, get your feet set because you're going to get the ball. Collapse the defense and passed out. That's great basketball.
So Omax Prosper to the line. 24th pick back in 2023, originally selected by Sacramento, then traded right away to Dallas. Prosper last year in the G League shot 42% from three-point territory, and Taylor Rooks has more on him.
Yeah, in terms of his three-point shot, he's really excited about how it's improved. He said the main thing was working on his balance, coming into a shot with the same footwork. He worked on a lot of movement shots, having the same follow-through, the same release, working on different contests, different closeouts, and just being consistent with every single shot looking the same has been the biggest thing. He said when you're playing with guys like Luka and Kyrie, you got to be able to stretch the floor, knock down those shots to be able to stay on the floor, Jared.
No question. Those guys got to have faith in you, Candace.
But you know, I think the biggest thing too is not just being a one-dimensional catch and shoot. Yes, you got to be able to knock down the three and be a threat from beyond the arc, but you also have to be able to attack closeouts. And
we got a defense at 3 seconds here.
oh wow, that's the first one we've had.
Isaiah Collier will shoot the technical. You were really keen on watching Collier tonight. He's got 6 points on 2 of 6 shooting, 4 assists. What have you seen from him here in his Vegas debut?
Well, you know, we know what Collier can do. You know, he started off the game knocking down that mid-range going left. I think that the adjustment he's going to have to make is he's going to be finishing oversized. And at the rim, you have to be smart sometimes as a guard. Draw. You've done what you're supposed to. Kick out and trust your teammates.
Collier finds the cutting Baisley. Sharp right there to deny him.
Doing a great job staying vertical and utilizing that length.
Prosper back the other way after Sharp's 4th block of the game. Right place, right time. Emmanuel Miller.
Does he get an assist for that, Prosper?
Yeah.
Might have been a pass.
The John Stockton statistician is here, then yes.
Well, Justice finding his second 3 on the night. He was 0 for 7 from threes in the Salt Lake City Summer League. So I know he's relieved to see the ball go down in the basket.
9 on the shot clock for Prosper, going at Lofton for Miller. Miller with the floater. Second attempt. Williams comes down with it. We've got a 9-second differential. Doesn't matter. Cody Williams. It's 68-64. We got a 4-point game. Dallas led by as many as 11. Jazz Gortman has it here. 4-second shot clock to game clock differential. Gortman's gonna pull. Sharp there. Tips it out. And a foul to Justice.
You see right here, Baisley going up. Sharp using that 7-5 frame to go straight up. And Justice can shoot the basketball. Sees it go down. Second 3 on the night. Utah getting out and running. Cody Williams being rewarded. That give and go. Collier throwing it up there. Young draft pick out of Colorado. Has shown some signs of growth since Salt Lake City. Struggled initially. But you just want your young draft picks to just continue the process and believe in themselves. Never get too high, never get too low. Stay with the process. And I think he could see some time with the Utah Jazz, but I think he's going to benefit from playing a lot of minutes. So I look for him to be kind of towards the G League a little bit, get that experience, get those minutes, and then continue to grow and get better.
6 seconds to go here in third. 6-point game. Utah down. Lofton.
I love it.
The follow by Baisley's after the buzzer.
Finish.
So, Candace, we go to your final 10 minutes of the 2024 Las
experience. Just doing whatever I can to provide to these young guys.
Now the Jazz have made this a 6-point game. What defensive adjustments do you need to make to avoid them closing the gap further?
We need to be more aggressive, especially in our DHOs and our let-throughs, and be more communicative on our defensive side. And ultimately, that's going to be our best offense right there.
Thank you for your time. Back to you, Jared.
Taylor, Brandon Williams got into 17 games during the regular season with the Dallas Mavericks. Played the bulk of the last couple of years with a bunch of different teams, as he mentioned. His 3rd Vegas appearance, Portland, Minnesota, last couple of years. Got 9 on the shot clock here for Utah. And a foul underneath. Are they going to give that to Brandon Williams? They are. That'll be Williams' 2nd foul again. We're allowed 10 personal fouls here in the first 4 games of Summer League.
And I think Brandon Williams changes from the guard position the way that Dallas plays. When he did get in there, you have Luka, who's has the ball in his hands a lot. Kyrie, they don't really push tempo. They did later on, but they don't really. As Cody Williams knocks down another three, great sign from him, but they don't push tempo. So if you're Williams, you have an opportunity to change with the second unit with Dallas, the way that they play push tempo. He's done a great job of getting to the paint.
Lofton picks the pocket of Williams. Collier racing ahead. Collier makes it a 1-point game. Timeout, Jared Dudley and the Dallas Mavericks. Utah turning it up here to start the fourth quarter. It begins with Cody Williams, who was 1 of 11 from distance in the Salt Lake City Summer League. Tonight in the Vegas opener, Williams 3 of 5. And defense into offense. We got a contest. Here's tomorrow in Las Vegas on NBA TV, ESPN and the ESPN app right here on NBA TV. Our coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern with the Cavs and Bucks, followed by the Timberwolves and Pacers. Then at 7:30 Eastern, we'll have the Magic and Pelicans, followed by the Nuggets and Raptors. Toronto looked really good earlier tonight. We'll play a back-to-back. Open up 2024 Summer League action. We've got ourselves a 1-point game, and here comes that Utah defense. Isaiah Collier gives Utah its first lead since late in the second quarter at 71-70.
And using his defense to spark his offense.
Lawson loses the ball, last touched by Utah.
You see right here, Collier doing a great job of denying the passing lane, shooting the gap, and then getting the quick step to get the layup to go. Lawson had a chase down block to start the game in the first half, but couldn't get the timing on that one.
Hey, check out Lofton here and Whaley. We're getting physical before the inbounds. Now Whaley gets space. Lofton comes down with a rebound. Lofton tonight, 3 of 6, 6 points. He's looked to shoot. He'll do it again. Lofton fighting his way and powering his way to 2. The Jazz lead grows to 3. It's a 9-0 run to start the fourth for Utah.
And Lofton Jr., you know he likes to go left, but it's tougher to stop it. Right here, using a little footwork. Got to respect the jump shot, going straight into the chest. He's used to playing against guys that are bigger and stronger than him. Not bigger and stronger, taller and longer than him. And so he's got to use his strength, and he does just that. That awkward finish, the timing, he's perfected that.
Sometimes you got to say it with your chest. Kenneth Lofton's got 9 points, and Utah has scored 10 unanswered to go up by 4. Getting close to crunch time action. Williams looking for Sharp. Here's Ajinka, who had a strong third quarter for Dallas. The lefty shot gets altered. Lofton up ahead. Hendricks. Good defense by Omax. Omax got back, now he'll run the offense. Ajinka loses it. And then a travel by Jason Preston. Preston will be on a 2-way deal. Sean Sheldon, Utah Jazz assistant, and congratulations to him getting a promotion this year. Coach Sheldon moving from the back of Will Hardy's bench to the front of his bench. We got a backcourt violation here.
You can't throw the ball in the back court once the ball is in the front court.
Once it's been
It seems
established.
like there's some confusion. Williams is pointing to
But Williams
the
is saying
official.
that the official who gave him the ball said he could do it.
Well, you can't. So
Cody Williams has had a strong second half. Rises to the occasion with a lefty hammer.
that was a nice sneak dunk.
Mavs trying to stop the bleeding. They've been outscored 12-zip to start the quarter. It's not going to happen here. Cody Williams comes down with it. Williams trying to follow the dunk. The layup goes. 14-0 Jazz run, and Utah's got the crowd behind them. 78-70, approaching 7 minutes to go. Prosper. Air ball. Here comes more of Utah.
And Utah having success in the open court, running in transition, and a lot has to do with these long outlets.
Good defense
From
by
Lofton
Prosper.
Jr. Goodness, watch this right here. Nice penetration by Williams. Sneak dunk. Get out of the way. He had to say ooh himself. Watch his face. Ooh. And then in transition on the next play, for Mavs, it don't matter. Cody Williams, every single possession, you can see his confidence is growing.
Utah with its largest lead of the night. They're looking for the 7'5" Sharp on a pick and roll with Williams. Not open. Lawson. We got a whistle underneath.
And Lawson and Williams doing a great job penetrating. Good things have happened when they have gotten into the paint. Now about to shoot their 21st and 22nd free throw. Compared to the Jazz, they've only shot 7 free throws on the night.
Lawson's going to get to celebrate his 24th birthday here in Las Vegas on Sunday.
Oh, that's a nice place to.
What do you think he's going to do?
Probably not the timing that is ideal, but it's a good place to celebrate your 21st birthday. You legal.
24th.
Oh, I thought you said 21st.
24th.
Okay, so he's good.
Dallas finally ends the run from Utah. Now Williams nearly throws it away. It's saved by Hendricks. Williams gets it back. Denied. Fifth block by Sharp. Iron sharpens iron.
Looked like someone may have touched the rim on that play coming across. I know the Jazz players were yelling for goaltending.
5 on the shot clock. Need a sense of urgency from Filipowski.
I
1
love
on the
his
clock.
turnaround. Didn't go that time, but I love his patience with this turnaround, getting in his spot.
Brandon Williams quickly up the court. Williams attacks Filipowski, who commits the foul. And Brandon Williams will go to the free throw line.
And again, I can only imagine what the Jazz are talking about. They got to pick the ball up earlier. They're letting Williams and Lawson get all the way downhill.
Here's this move you really like from Filipowski on the
Again, right
7'5" Sharp.
Right here. Little crab dribble. You hold them off. I learned that turnaround from one of the greatest to ever do it, Kobe Bryant. You got to hit the chest, throws off the timing in the shot blocker. You're able to turn over that left shoulder, fade a little bit. Filipowski's done that a couple times. Had success in the first half with the little Dirk fade away. That's something that if he can develop consistently in his game, it's going to be special.
Williams at the free throw line, where he's been perfect tonight, continues that. He's up to a team best 14 points. Filipowski, as you were mentioning, he's got double figures with 10. Jazz have been led by the 21 points of Cody Williams, the 10th pick in the 2024 NBA draft.
And again, Williams has done really well. Collier has come alive a little bit in the second half. But on the defensive end, they got to pick the Dallas Maverick guards up faster. They're waiting until the three-point line to pick them up in transition, and they're just too good.
Here's Filipowski going at Sharp. Filipowski has not shied away from this matchup all game long. Ball knocked away. Taken by Hendricks with 4 on the clock. Hendricks got to put it up. Hendricks does. Sharp gets the rebound. Sharp with his 4th rebound. He's got 5 blocks.
Do you see their pickup point right there? Hendricks all the way back in the paint. The speed and athleticism that the Dallas Mavericks had at the guard position. You look at Miller, you look at Williams, you look at Lawson. They're getting deep in the paint. Watch this pickup point right here. That's too late, too late, too late. That's too much space, and you're gonna get burned every time Miller gets rewarded at the free throw line.
Hendricks commits his 4th foul. Again, you get 10 here at this portion of Summer League. Emmanuel Miller at the free throw line. The Canadian played 3 years at TCU. Before that, a couple of years at Texas A&M. You know, Jared Dudley, the Summer League head coach, said of Emmanuel Miller, he's got an NBA body. He kind of looks like a UFC fighter. 6'6", 215. Vegas, good place to compare a guy to a UFC fighter. Whoa, baby, Darius Baisley. Don't do him like that.
Oh.
Williams answers. Dallas right back within 4.
Again, transition defense for the Jazz. Got to pick up. Match up earlier.
80-76, Utah with the lead. They trailed by as many as 11. Then they took an 8-point lead. It's now a 4-point game. Isaiah Collier driving on Miller. Here comes Dallas. 4.5 to go. Prosper driving into traffic. No whistle. Sharp the hook. And Sharp's got his 4th point of the night.
And if you're the Jazz, you need the 7'5" post player away from the basket. Put him in the pick and rolls like this. Take his size and athleticism away from the basket so you can get something at the rim.
Collier resets the offense. Collier driving on Sharp in traffic. There's a man open. It's Cody Williams. Another offensive opportunity here. Collier will slow it down. Utah hanging on to a 2-point lead. Collier driving on Lawson. Sharp couldn't get a piece of it, but he deters the shot. Up ahead to Williams. Williams back to Lawson.
Oh.
A couple of possessions ago, Darius Baisley doing
Pocket
bad
pass.
things.
Yeah, you got to dunk it. You can't lay it up around 7'5". He does a great job of gathering and getting his steps right. And then Dallas, ill intentions on this play. Utah fouls. Listen, foul or not, Dallas is doing a good job of making the refs make the call. This is their 27th and 28th free throw on the night. And a lot of those free throws have come from the backcourt. Williams, Lawson. They've done a great job of being aggressive.
So you say Dallas is 19 of 27 now from the free throw line. Utah, only 7 free throw attempts for the Jazz tonight. 7-0 run here by Dallas to tie the game at 80-80. Lofton gives it up to Hendricks. Hendricks, the floater. Utah back up by 2, under 3.5 to play. That ends the Dallas run. Williams to Prosper. Fight for the loose ball. It'll go to Utah.
And it's not by chance that Utah gets a paint point when the Dallas's 7'5" center goes to the bench for a little break. Utah goes straight inside to get to the paint. I think they got to do it again, too.
Lofton's got 9 points. He's driving. Lofton in traffic, muscles his way. Good defense by the Mavs inside. Williams, his pass gets deflected. It will remain with Dallas after this timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, it is crunch time in Vegas. 2:56 to go. Jazz 82, Mavs 80.
They're doing that in transition, capitalizing on their defense. Right on cue. Right there. Lofton Jr. forces the turnover. All they had to do was throw it up. He couldn't. It's 7'5".
Felt like I was watching the Spurs from the regular season when they couldn't find Wembanyama.
Just throw it up in the air.
Ball knocked out of bounds by Sharp. It'll be Utah basketball. Speaking of the Spurs, you got to look at Sean Sheldon on the right side of your screen there in the black shirt, coach of the Utah Jazz Summer League team. Made his bones in the Spurs video room back in the day. Cody Williams driving for the Jazz. Now it's Isaiah Collier. His start tonight. Pull up over the 7'5" Sharp, and he gets the rainbow jumper to go. Utah now up by 4.
And I love the Jazz seeking out that pick and roll with Sharp. Takes him away from the basket. It keeps him occupied.
Here is Sharp, who's got 11 points. Pardon me, 4 points and 4 blocks. Another Dallas turnover. Baisley gets tripped up and fouled. We'll give the foul to Brandon Williams. That'll be his 3rd.
Baisley has mastered that awkward pickup, that Antetokounmpo-like pickup, gather, so that he can use his long steps in transition. Watch this. That's not a travel. You have to have control 1-2. Everybody yells at Giannis Antetokounmpo for taking off from half court, but a gather step is allowed in the NBA. All the kids out there, it's not allowed in high school and college, okay? Gotta wait till you get to the league to do it.
Baisley has played 237 NBA regular season games. Stops in OKC, Phoenix, Philadelphia, and most recently with the Jazz. He signed a non-guaranteed deal back in March with Utah. So the clock was running, but Brandon Williams had not yet touched it after the ball was inbounded. So they'll put 2 more seconds on the clock. And now that'll give an opportunity here for Utah to put on some full court pressure. Here we go. The clock has been reset to 2:10. Williams guarded by Collier. Former #1 pick, #1.
He has absolutely lived in the paint against this Utah Jazz team. Yeah, he shakes his head because he knows it's easy.
Williams has 19. Kenneth Lofton's got 9 points. He gives it up to Cody Williams, who's had a breakout performance tonight, 21 points. Lofton fakes on a 3, gets Sharp on his feet. Lofton kicks it out. Collier, 5 on the shot clock. 3 on the clock. Collier gets the shot deflected by Prosper. Up ahead to Lawson. Lawson takes it himself. And Dallas gets back within 2. Omax Prosper making it happen on the defensive end for the Dallas Mavericks. Collier kicks it. Corner. Baisley. 3. Book it. Big 3. Seven in the 4th for Baisley, including a thunderous dunk. Now a big 3. Utah by 5. Dallas basketball. Ajinka. Pure jumper.
He's making plays after plays on both ends of the floor.
Again, Ajinka trying to prove to the Mavs that he can play in the NBA this year. Otherwise, he's going back to France to play pro ball overseas. We're under a minute to go. Dallas and Utah. Baisley kicks it for Lofton. 4 on the clock. Baisley going at Sharp. Sharp hits the deck. The bucket and counted.
And 1.
Counted for Lofton, who got the 7'5" Sharp off his feet and then drew the contact.
And the hardest thing as a shot blocker is to trust your length. Lofton taking advantage of this right here. There's the block. Collier, Sharp, outlets it. Lawson has lived in the paint. Your turn, my turn with Williams. And then again, Collier, anything you can do, I can do better. I'm gonna find my shooter in the corner. Drew the shot blocker, did exactly what I was supposed to do. And Lofton, he's so crafty. Look at this. As a shot blocker, trust your link, Sharp.
The refs,
Lofton gets the and 1.
good job by the refs getting together here. They're gonna say the bucket will not count. It'll be a side out of bounds.
Yeah, he's gotta get it up a little quicker. Foul happened before he gathered. But that was really crafty for him to come over, pump fake. But if Sharp just comes over and puts his hands up,
He doesn't need to jump.
there's nothing Lofton can do.
Right.
He doesn't have to jump to block the shot. Watch this, right here. Just come over under control. There's nothing he can do.
So they have to correct the score, by the way. It should be 89-86. The score on our score bug is correct at 89-86. They just have to correct it in the building, and they've now done that. So 47 seconds on the game clock.
think the crowd just
By the way,
picked
that
up
was
on.
that was the foul to give here. Next foul by Dallas will put Utah on the line. 11 on the shot clock here. Utah ball leading by 3. Both teams with a timeout remaining. 4 on the shot clock. Hendricks gets his pocket pick by who else? Prosper. Prosper over to Williams. Williams denied. They're going to count it. A foul. Will they count the bucket? They are not counting it. 2 shots coming. The Dallas bench wanted a goaltend. Let's take another look as Williams drives. Collier comes over. Baisley.
That was on
the way up. Good call there.
Good call by the refs. Don't say that very often. Got to give the refs some love. It's got to be a tough job. Everybody yells at you no matter what. Nobody tells you good job. I'm guilty of it.
Miller. He's now got 20. Pardon me. Williams now has 20 points.
30 free throws after this one. The Mavericks will have shot.
If your last name is Williams, you've combined for 41 points. Cody has 21 for the Jazz. Brandon has 21, now 42 points for all Williams. 8.2 different shot clock to game clock. Kenneth Lofton playing that point forward position. He gives it up to Isaiah Collier, who started the game at point. Utah with the ball up by 1. They've got a timeout in their pocket. No fouls to give here for Dallas. 6 on the shot clock. Lofton gets doubled, kicks it. Collier for the dagger. Foul underneath on Utah. It'll be a shooting foul. And Dallas will have an opportunity to take the lead at the free throw line.
And Lofton Jr. going in for the offensive rebound. But if you're Utah, you can't get a silly off-ball foul on this. Lawson being in right position. A little
Lofton
chicken
push
wing.
off. Yep.
That's a good call.
Very good
Really
call.
good call.
Lofton push Lawson out of the way. Lawson 6 for 6 from the free throw line tonight. He's got 15 points.
And you just jinxed him. You did the commentator jinx.
If you believe in such a thing. Lawson now needs to make it to tie the game. 89 and 89. Dallas ties it. Utah will use its lone timeout. Look, there's a Utah fan and a Dallas fan going at it here at the Pavilion. This is Crunch Time, live on NBA TV. Sunday. Right now, we've got a tie game. Utah will have the ball in the front court. No team has a foul to give. No fouls to give. Utah just used its only timeout. Dallas does have a timeout in their pocket. 7.5 to go. Shot clock is off.
And I think the ball has to touch Lofton Jr.'s hands. He's been a great facilitator in this offense. I think there's some sort of action for Cody Williams coming off. Catch the ball for Lofton.
Collier inbounds it, gets it right back. 6 on the clock. Collier with 4, over to Lofton. Lofton taking it with 1 on the clock. Lofton scoops it, no good. The follow, no good, but we got a whistle. And Utah will have an opportunity with .2 on the clock to go ahead at the free throw line.
And I love this action drawn up by Coach Sheldon. Right here, you put the ball in your playmaker's position.
Because Dallas has a timeout in their pocket, they have the ability to challenge, and Jared Dudley will do just that.
A challenge! Yeah, that's a foul. And it's 0.2 seconds left.
So now they'll go over and look at this. As Dudley and company will use their last challenge, they might as well use the timeout. So now, you're out of timeouts after this. And we're going to go to break with them here. We'll be right back with the final .2 and tell you case. So the refs have the opportunity at the replay to not only look at whether it is a foul or not, but how much time should be on the clock when the foul was called, not when the clock stopped.
And maybe that's why it's taking so long. They're figuring out what amount of time they have to put back on the clock right here. You see the foul happens, looks to be at like 1.8, 1.7.
But keep in mind, just want to clarify, Dallas is not going to get their, no, it's going to be a foul, so Dallas will not have a timeout.
And with 0.2 seconds, it's not enough time to get a shot off anyway.
The challenge is unsuccessful, and not only did they put more time on it, it's 2.1.
2.1.
All right, but keep in mind, even Dallas will not be able to advance the ball here after the free throws.
And it looks to me like Coach Dudley drew up a full court play as they're lining up with Sharp down at the other end.
All right, so Lofton now has to do some work here and make the free throws. In his NBA career, he's a 62% free throw shooter. But I should point out, in his G League career, he is a 71% free throw shooter. Does Kenny Lofton want to miss here and create a rebound opportunity, which would then take more time off the clock?
Yes, I think so. There's no timeouts. Dallas didn't have any timeouts. It messes up their rhythm of their play.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
All right, misses it. And here comes Prosper. He's got a hoist. He did it quickly. And Utah's gonna win the game in the final moments. A thriller here to end night 2 in Las Vegas. That was a fun one to watch, Candace.
So